Alright, okay, another episode of RockersNYC TV, broadcasting, wow, from the beautiful, crazy, visually stimulated environment of Shawn Mortensen. Yeah, photographer extraordinaire, cool human being, just world traveler, all around cool human.
Thank you, Shawn.
Yeah, alright.
Shawn said.
Yeah, it's all about Shawn's right now. Well, dude, it's like, yeah, this is fun, because, like, Shawn's, like, a friend of, like, probably 15 years, and Rockers was lucky enough to do a collabo with you.
Yeah.
War Dance with the dope picture you did of Ninja Man and Supercat.
Yeah.
Let's start with that. What was that like being?
That was great. I mean, that was one of the craziest nights of me in my career as a photographer. I went to the Sting concert in '91. People often think it's Sting from the Police, but it's Sting.
Yes, the festival.
You know, the festival, which is like it's like the World Cup of reggae. Every great dance hall and reggae singer, every great chatter, DJ, rappers, everybody shows up and plays for the people on Boxing Day, the day after Christmas. It is a battle fest, and everybody battles. The singers would battle. Like, for instance, the year that I was there, Junior Reid, Ferris Hammond, and Dennis Brown battled to see who was the greatest Lovers singer.
Right.
And that was an epic year because it was at the height of Ninja Man and Supercat's fame. Supercat had been outside of Jamaica. Apparently, it was inferred that he had been involved in the death of Nitty Gritty or something like that. There were rumors to that effect. And there was, in the audience, and throughout the country, there was like this gambling going on. Who was going to win, Supercat versus Ninja Man. And it's an insane festival. It starts at 10 in the morning, and it goes until 10 the next morning. So it goes all night.
Right.
So by the time that Supercat and Ninja Man hit the stage, it was like maybe 4 in the morning. And it's on YouTube.
Right.
Parts of it are on YouTube. I don't know if I'm on YouTube, but I'm on the Sting video. You can see me with my camera because I'm like literally 4 feet away from Cat and Supercat and Ninja Man doing shots. But there was a point when someone in the audience, Ninja Man's fans all wore like ninja headbands in the crowd. And apparently the promoters said that there were no bottles allowed into the arena, which someone didn't clue the gate people because there were bottles everywhere. And this festival is when the infamous Sting Baco incident happened, when the Supercat threw a bottle into the crowd. Some dude started harassing Supercat or name calling him or something, probably about Nitty Gritty, and then Cat's response to the guy live on stage was like, you know, shut your mouth, I have my gun on me. And when Cat said that, people flipped out and started throwing bottles on the stage. But it wasn't 1 or 2 bottles.
Who won?
Supercat won.
Really?
No, Ninja Man won.
Yeah.
Sorry. Supercat lost in that, you know, in that moment. There were hundreds of bottles hitting the stage, landing, glass was shattering. I was just there taking shots, you know. I didn't think they were aiming for me, but bottles were just flying, glass was flying everywhere. So I did some quick pictures and then got out, hid behind some Marshall stacks as the bottles were hitting. But to Ninja Man's credit and why he won the battle, he just stood there with his hand held up with the mic going, people, and Ninja Man is nuts. I always describe him as the Iggy Pop of dancehall because he was like wearing sharkskin tailored suit, long straight-haired red wig, a fedora. He was just outside, like amazing.
Another planet.
And like rock and roll, like original 50s rock and roll, insane. So he's like standing there holding his hand up as the bottles are flying, and he's like, people, my people, people, you must stop, you know. He cools the audience down. And when the bottles stop landing, he turns on the house band, and they start playing Rock Around the Clock, the Bill Haley original rock and roll tune. And dude, it just goes off, and the crowd goes crazy, and he's like 1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock rock, doing a dance hall version of it, which was sick. And it was tight, you know, it was amazing, and they both came out looking super sharp. I mean, Supercat also had an amazing style. It was like wearing this camo like a fatigues kind of military jacket, not camo, but like a beige khaki print shirt, khaki fabric pants, white gonzi mesh tank top. He had a white bandana tied over the side of his head, and like just looked badass, you know, his shades as he is in the t-shirt and photo, and he was dope. I mean, it was literally like the Clash of the Titans, you know, like nobody knew who was going to win, and there were money on both sides. I remember the cab driver who took me to Marcus Garvey Stadium was asking me if I wanted to bet with him who was going to win. He said, I thought Ninja Man was going to win. But Super Cat was becoming not only was he a huge reggae star, but he was becoming a crossover international pop star with his tunes.
It's true.
Ninja Man was more punk rock, you know. It was more ghetto, you know, for lack of a better description. He was roots, really, where the people were coming from. He was,
and that's how his career stayed too. Like Shabba, you know, went that way in America, around the world, and then Ninja, like labels would fly down to sign Ninja.
Yeah, and he wasn't about it,
you know.
Yeah, he just had his own thing, and he was like, "This is what I'm doing," you know.
When did you take your first photo and realize that this is something that you wanted to create?
For me, I taught myself how to do it, and it was really, I would say, like in 1990 was really when I just decided, I'm gonna do this. You know, when I was in art school, I used to run underground clubs. I ran this club called The Last Shot, and did some other parties in LA, and was on the underground scene, and I just decided to photograph what I loved, which naturally was like what came closest to me, what I listened to, what was my lifestyle, was punk rock and hip hop, you know. So it was just things that naturally appealed to me, you know. And with hip hop, it was funny because obviously bands like NWA were selling as many records as Guns N' Roses, but you know, Guns N' Roses were all over MTV, and you saw their photos everywhere, and they were huge rock stars, but people didn't know really what Dr. Dre looked like, or Ice Cube looked like, you know. And that happened so fast. That band blew up, and they were sure there were riots at Guns N' Roses concerts, but NWA were perceived as a political threat. You know, their music was so potent that they were on most wanted list, you know, and were being followed and harassed, and they were doing a lot of provocative stuff. So for me, it was innately punk rock. You know, I never felt the difference between hip hop and punk rock.
I think the fact that you are a part of all the cultures, I know for a fact you can see that in your photos. I think there've been photographers that have been in certain subcultures and they take photos, but the photos are almost voyeuristic, as opposed that your photos aren't voyeuristic.
I really try to honor my subjects with my photographs of them, and I really, like I said, I consider it a collaboration. So it's like intimacy and emotion are two and humor are defining things in my work. You know, it's important to me that the people come out looking good. It doesn't mean looking good like that I prettify them or I make them glamorous per se, but that they have character and integrity and that there's an authenticity to the photo. So that's really critical to me when I'm making work, that it's resonant. And in my sense, even when I started out, just because of my academic studies, you know, in college and art school and stuff, I just had to put faith in myself that if I kept it contemporary and really authentic to what was really going on, that then it would become classic, hopefully. And I had a sense, like literally when I did that shot of Snoop, he was unknown. I've been told it's the first published image of him, that picture of him with the gun and the lowrider and his dog, that was behind Death Row Records or Solar Records, where they were recording The Chronic. In that moment, just the lines with the car and the wall and the shoes and the tire marks and the way the tag's coming off his cons and the gun and the way the dog is, there's just symmetry to that photo. And just in that moment, I kind of had a epiphany. Like I felt a click of like, this is important. This is going to be an important photograph, and this is going to be an important moment for me as an artist. And it felt really true in that way.
Pick up the rockers, don't you throw it away.